should be live. Should be live here. I'm going to let the internet's my modest social media following that I'm live. Let me know if you can hear me well. Well, there was 10 people, and then now there's 4. What the hell? Anyway, I'm currently trying a different hour of the day. This is a work in progress. Just trying to see what the best hour is to do it for the most people to be able to see it. It's 6 p.m. here currently where I live. I figured that'd be a good time. I usually do live streams Wednesday at noon, but you know, a lot of people are at work or at school. So I figured this would be a good time. Also for people, because I think it's, you know, the end of the day for people in Europe, but it might still be early enough for young people to catch it, for at least for a little bit. Anyway, just trying. I'll keep trying till I figure it out. I'm new at this. So, like always, we're just gonna chit chat, chill. Let me know how your life is going. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. If you have any comments for me, feel free to ask. Let me see what time it actually is around the world. Around the world. Time. So what time is it? 6 p.m. So yeah, okay, it's 11 p.m. GMT. So that's a little bit late. A little bit late for Europeans. So I don't know. If Europeans are anything like Americans, the young people probably stay up pretty late. And then we have 9 a.m. in Australia. So it's all good. Yeah, I was hoping that it would be a better time for people that go to school during the day. I don't know. Like I said, we'll figure it out. It's a work in progress. Is there any specific time I prefer to do it? Not really. I want to do it at the time where I can get, you know, the most people, or at least a time where I can reach the most people, I guess. And you know, I can live stream twice a week. You know, that was my original plan. Was to do twice a week. Was to do one during really early in the day for me, and one late in the evening for me because I figured that would capture both people. But I think the day of the week matters too because on weekdays people have school and they might have work and things like that. So I don't know. I just have to figure it out. Last week I did Wednesday at noon here, and like there was almost nobody there. And I don't know if that was just a fluke or if it was just a bad time. But Wednesday at noon, people are in school and people are at work, so it could have just been a bad time. But see, that's a really good time for people who live in or near Europe, because 12 noon here is like 6 p.m. there, something like that, 5 p.m. So I figured that'd be a good time for them, but maybe not. I don't know. Just to figure it out. I apologize. My eyes have been allergies or something have been messing with me since yesterday. My eyes have been like bloodshot. I don't know if you can really see it. It itches. Twice a week is good. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think twice a week is too much, especially since nobody comes. Well, not nobody, but they don't. There's not that many people that come to the live streams, but that could just be because I do them at bad times. But I'm working on it. Like I said, even beyond the times I'm thinking of doing more stuff, just having more of a topic for the live streams. I mean, I like to sort of just hang out and answer questions, but maybe people want an actual show of some sort, so I can try to put something together. It's all good. Have I ever worked in retail? Yeah, and I hate it. I think out of all the industries in which a person can work, retail is probably the worst, unless you get lucky and get some kind of awesome job. But retail, first of all, generally retail does not pay well at all, at least in America. Like you'll get paid minimum wage or barely above minimum wage most of the time, especially if you're starting out like as a sales associate. And then even if you get, a lot of times they'll promote you to manager or something, or shift manager, and they still won't pay you any more money. They'll just give you more hours. And then if you become like a legit manager, maybe you'll get like a small raise, but it's usually still nothing, like maybe eight an hour or something. And then even if you become a store manager, you probably get maybe like $30K a year if you get like full-time store manager with benefits. And $30K a year is cool if you're just like a single person that doesn't have kids and lives in an apartment, but it's not really that much money for an adult. So they don't pay much, and then it's usually it's a job. It's like a thankless job where you have to serve people. And it's one of the few jobs in America, at least, where you have to serve people but you don't get tips. And that's, the tips are usually what make serving people somewhat worth it, because I think those jobs are sort of inherently demeaning. But if you get paid enough, then you might be fine with it. But if you don't get paid enough, I don't see why people do it. I don't even see why people work in retail. Now, if you're like in the back room or the stock room or something like that, that's a little bit different. You don't have to interact with people that much, so you're just doing a sort of a repetitive task for, a wage, which I still think is not enough, but I can deal with that more so than working the front, having to actually deal with people that generally don't give a shit about you and don't really consider you a person. So no, I'm not into retail. Retail is a thing that I would never advise anyone to get into. how's my day been? My day's been pretty relatively uneventful, I guess. I sort of slept in today. I usually wake up relatively early nowadays, but I didn't wake up until like 3 p.m., 3 p.m. today. And but I got up and I made my one word a day video, which you can go see at youtube.com/1word-a-day. Today's word is hackneyed, which is probably a more common word than most of the ones that I use, but I like the word a lot. And I want everyone to know that word. And I did that, and I played some League of Legends, and that's pretty much all I've done today. After this, I'm probably going to try to clean up my room a little bit. I recently washed all of my clothes, but they're just sitting in hampers and stuff right now. So I need to do something with that. And I have a lot of clothes. I have I just have too much stuff in general, and I'm trying to fix that. But one of the things that I have too much of is clothes, which you wouldn't think, because I pretty much wear the same few outfits over and over again. But I have a whole lot of clothes that I never wear, and they're just sort of taking up space everywhere in my room. So I just grabbed every piece of clothes that I have, and I just washed it all. And I'm just gonna put everything that I know I'm never gonna wear again in a bag, and just take it to Salvation Army or something, or just I just need to get rid of it. So I'll do that. But that's my day. What's my opinion on students who stay up past 2 in the morning? I don't know. Do whatever you want to do as long as you get your shit done in your life. Some people operate better on less sleep than other people. I'm not one of those people. If I used to have a job where I had to work at my last job. Actually, I had to be at work at 1 p.m. and if I stayed up, I still had to be in bed by midnight or 1, or else I would just be way too tired. And I'd usually be tired anyway, just because I didn't want to be there. But that's one reason when I was in school, when I was in college, I never signed up for any early morning classes ever, because I just cannot get up that early. 7, 8 a.m. classes, can't do it. Even though nowadays I often wake up at 6 or 7 in the morning, but that's just because it's natural. If I was forced to, I probably wouldn't do it. I don't know. That's how it works sometimes. I'm about to tell my best friend tomorrow I'm in love with her. Any advice at all? My anxiety is killing me. Well, good luck with that, brah. If there's no indication that she likes you back, be prepared for a swift rejection. But I mean, sometimes you just gotta get shit off your chest, I guess. But that's a thing that doesn't often result in the way that you want it to. But like I said, good luck. Who knows? You never know. What do I think of porn? Porn is a very sticky issue, and it's a thing that I should actually do research on. I feel like there's not that much scientific research done about porn. But the thing about porn, well, first of all, porn is very, very useful as an aid to masturbation, and I'm highly in favor of masturbation. The thing about porn is, at least from my experience, the vast majority of it is depictions. It's the vast majority of it is exploitative, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It's I don't know. It's like demeaning to people, especially women, and to some extent, like when it comes to like published works or things that people make for people, I don't really give that much of a shit of whether or not it's offensive or whatever, because I think people should be able to make whatever they want to make. But I wonder if porn is like psychologically harmful, or at least that kind of porn is psychologically harmful to people. I don't know if it is. I'd like to say that for normal people, like normal people can handle it. But it may not, like if you over time it may, you know, have subtle effects on your psyche. And I don't know, I was about to say another thing, but anyway, another thing about it is there's a lot of evidence from what I've seen that suggests that porn can hinder your normal sex life, because porn makes it basically gets you to a point where only a certain level of sexual excitement actually gets you off, and so like normal sexual situations don't excite you as much as the ones that you find in porn. So that can impact your actual sex life, which is a problem, I think. And then you get into like there's situations, and probably a lot of people deal with it, where, and I mean even probably anybody who watches porn will watch porn and enjoy porn that depicts things that they would never do in real life themselves. Did the video freeze? Hold on a second. Did the video freeze for y'all? Cause it's not working for me. Or is it jumping? I don't know. Okay, it's working again. Maybe it's just on my end. My bad. Anyway, what I was saying was it can make, like, I think probably most people who watch porn that depicts situations that you would never participate in yourself, and some people, some writers suggest that may lead to normal sexual situations not being exciting enough for you. So it's a very sticky issue. I actually sent a message to Lindsay Doe. Like, I sent a message to her Tumblr. That's the woman who, she's a sexologist, and she runs the Sexplanations channel on YouTube, which you should all watch if you want to have, or if you want to see honest and open and very frank discussions about sex. And I actually sent a message asking her if she would do an episode about porn, because I would like to know more about that from a honest and safe and female point of view. But who knows? It's something to think about, something to keep in mind, I think. Just one of those things that you sort of have to be conscious of when you but a lot of porn I can't even watch, because it's just like the situations are just like terrible sometimes, and I'm like, come on. Like, I don't mind silly porn or even like really sleazy porn, but sometimes there's a lot of porn that is basically rape, and that sort of makes me uncomfortable. Or it depicts rape, at least. and I don't know if that's a good thing or maybe it doesn't matter. But we'll figure it out one day. We got 16 folks up in here. Am I still wanting a gaming YouTube cover? Yeah. Well, I mean, I've told everybody to submit banners for my gaming channel, which is called The One Game Kniter. You guys are free to subscribe. And I actually have one on there now that someone submitted. But if anybody can submit. I want as many as possible. I'll switch them out every few weeks or so. But yeah, I saw the one with the controller on it, and I thought I responded on there, on Facebook at least. The only problem with that is I don't play Xbox games on there, so it'd be I feel like it's kind of weird to have a banner with an Xbox controller on it because I don't play Xbox games on my gaming channel. And that was the only thing. But I did like it. Especially like because it crops out on your desktop browser. It crops out the image, and I really like the way that it cropped out on that image. It just looked cool the way it cut off a little bit of the controller and a little bit of the face. How to tell someone to stop talking to you without sounding like a jerk. Why do you need them to stop talking to you? If you want someone to stop talking to you, you should say, "Stop talking to me." You can add a please on the end too if you want. But I don't think that sounds like a jerk. Maybe they'll think you sound like a jerk, but you know, they're not the only person that has an opinion. What's her name? What's whose name? You missed what? Have I played Halo or any game within the Halo series? I played most of the Halo games, but I've never owned them. I don't really play through the single player. I only purchase, or I only play first person shooters to play multiplayer because that's just what I'm into. I don't really like the campaign because it's just like, okay, go kill this AI and go kill more AI. So I've been fired before. Have I ever been back to a place I've been fired from? No, I've only been fired once, and I have not. I have not went back to that place, and I would not want to. It doesn't seem like that would happen that often, where you go back to a place that you've been fired from. Am I worried about my financial security in the future? Worried? It depends what you mean by worried. Am I worried that I won't be financially secure in the future? No. Am I concerned and trying to make sure that I become financially secure? Yeah, and I think everybody should. But I don't think, I'm fairly confident that I'll be okay. But I'm still, that doesn't mean I'm not thinking about it and working on it, because I certainly am. And actually, YouTube is a big part of that, and that's why I have the onejanitor.com/donate on the screen right now, because you guys can help me become financially secure, at least for the time being, until I build my YouTube empire and just take over this whole goddamn website. So I'll take the time to plug the onejanitor.com/donate. The link, the URL on your screen right now. If you go on there, it shows you many different ways in which you can support the One Janitor, and some of the ways do not cost money, and some of them do. But it's up to you. I appreciate you all anyway. If anything, just watch my videos. That's all you have to do. Watch my videos, share it. That alone helps me, even financially. Have I heard the song About Today by The National? No. What do I think about the game industry? You've been hearing comments about the gaming industry going downhill. Going downhill in terms of what? In terms of the quality of games, or in terms of profitability? Because the latter is definitely not true. The gaming industry just gets bigger and bigger every year, every month. More and more people play video games. More people play video games now than ever. And, these games are breaking record sales like every time they come out with a new big game. If you're talking about the quality of games, that's just a matter of opinion. It depends on what you're into, and it differs from generation to generation. Like in my generation, when I was growing up, long RPGs were like the rage. That's what everybody wanted to play. Final Fantasy VII, Xenogears, Earthbound. Those games were good, but those games, nobody wants to play those games anymore. And it's not because people have their tastes in games are bad. It's just a different culture right now. We're in a culture of instant gratification. We low attention span, and it's not. It sounds like it's a bad thing, but it's not. It's just different. So we have to work around that. You can still tell great stories in games that and I feel like a lot of the old RPGs that I grew up playing are in fact kind of long-winded, but that's just what we were into back in the day. So I think the gaming industry is fine. The only thing that could be a problem with the gaming industry is the way that they're trying to tiptoe around passing costs over to the consumers, such as they're trying to kill the used game market. They have all these DLCs that don't really add anything to the game, or they have just a lot of things like that. You won't be able to play games on other people's consoles. That they're trying to do that DRM and all that stuff. So far that we've sort of fought that, but even if that happens, it's not going to kill the industry. People are going to continue to play video games. I guarantee it. It's just going to be a little bit worse. What's my favorite band? Well, I don't listen to music. I don't listen to current music or anyone that currently makes music. So I don't know. I listen to old stuff like Queen and White Stripes. Are you getting the Xbox One or the PS4? Well, I'm not getting anything right now because I don't have any money, but it's more likely that I'll get the PS4 than the Xbox One. Have I ever played Dungeons and Dragons? I have not played Dungeons and Dragons, which is interesting because almost all of my closest friends play or have played Dungeons and Dragons. I just never really was around to play it, I guess. I never asked to play. It seems like it'd be pretty fun, I guess. We might get like a game going with me and my friends at some point. Because they've actually been talking about it. My bad. I just saw an interesting picture on the internet. Freddie Mercury is the god. Dude's a beast. Yeah, Freddie Mercury is one of my favorite people to have lived. Indeed. TV on the radio came to my town maybe like a year ago, and it was like sort of a big deal. Like they played at this kind of small like venue, and the place was just super duper packed. But like I said, I don't really follow music. I don't really follow anything as my followers are slowly learning, especially people who visit these live streams, because I always get asked questions about my favorite blank, and I'm always like, I don't know, I don't watch or listen or read to anything. But that I mentioned this before, but I'm thinking about I'm thinking about starting a new like segment on my YouTube channel in which I culture myself and read books and watch TV shows and movies and listen to music and like sort of discuss it or review it on my channel. And that would be a good thing for me to do, because it'll, get me more in tune to what's happening in culture, and just more knowledgeable about stuff that people talk about, and might make for some entertaining videos. And my videos are like the only thing that I like put effort into, so I would probably force myself to do it, because a lot of the reason that I don't listen to stuff or watch stuff is because it's like you have to just sort of invest a whole lot of time into something. It's like, I don't really feel like doing that. I'm sure it's great, I just don't really feel like investing a bunch of time into doing this. I could be doing something else. I could be making a video or looking at Tumblr. It was my high school GPA, I think it was like 3.5 or something. It was relatively high compared to the rest of my class. Three point something. It was less than 4.0, but it was more than 3.5, I think. Which is amazing to me, because I don't remember doing anything in high school ever. I didn't do shit in high school. Somehow I graduated with good grades. I don't know if high school was just easy, or if it was just they just didn't give a shit, or what. But speaking of gaming, someone just posted an article that said GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5, which just came out like yesterday or today, last night at midnight, has already made $800 million in 24 hours. Hadn't even been 24 hours yet. Oh yeah, no, it's Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday. But yeah, in 24 hours, they have made $800 million. So yeah, the gaming industry is alive and well. Tell you that. The Dark Knight Ingrid. I don't know what that is. Cats or dogs? Definitely dogs. I don't like cats. My friends are going away to college, and I'm staying here in my hometown. How can I deal without seeing any of them for long periods of time? I feel as I'll eventually lose the friendship with them. Well, you just have to live your life. It's possible that you'll lose your friendships with many of them, or one or more of them. That's what happens when you're away from someone for a long time. Even if you don't lose your friendships with them, if you don't see them for a long time, it's likely that your friendships will, dampen, be not what they used to be. That's just what happens. And you'll get over it, but just live your life and don't try to force things if it's not there anymore, and don't you can still hang out with friends, but you'll notice if the same spark is there, and then maybe they'll be out of town for a long time, and then they'll come back, and then you'll just pick up right where you left off. Because I've had both happen. Like, I have friends that just it's just not there anymore, and that's fine. It happens. And then I have friends where I didn't see them for a long time, and then I started hanging out with them again, and now we're back to best friends. But you just gotta go on with your life. You'll make new friends. You'll meet new people. You'll find ways to pass the time. Just don't fret. Don't fret about it. You'll be fine. The ones that you grow away from, you'll get over it if it happens. I once added up the amount of money spent on a celebrity's clothing and realized that their entire outfit could pretty much pay for my college tuition. Oh yeah. Yep. Some people are rich. That's a thing, indeed. I hope to be rich one day, and I hope to wear $1,000 clothing. I don't think I would actually buy clothing that was that expensive, because I feel like you don't have to. I mean, I would probably be a little less thrifty when I buy clothes if I had that much money. But I feel like there's no reason to spend like. I keep getting I keep getting calls from like random ass numbers. But I don't know. I feel like there's no reason to spend like $1,000 on a pair of socks. I feel like that's just ridiculous. You don't have to. But if you have the money and you see like an outfit or pair of pants or a shirt that's literally one of a kind and hasn't been duplicated by any other company, and it just happens to be expensive, and you buy it and you have the money, then fucking buy it. Why? you should be able to buy it, and no one should be able to give you shit for that. But if you're just buying, like, you know, like you might have seen on the internet recently, Kanye West, I guess Kanye West's clothing line or something like that, he tried to sell, or he did sell, basically what, it was just a plain white t-shirt, and it was like $200. I feel like that's ridiculous. If you want a white t-shirt, just go to fucking Target and pay like $8. If that. It's ridiculous. But I have no problem with balling out of control. If you have the money and can afford it, and you have the rest of your financial obligations taken care of, I fully support being able to treat yourself to whatever the fuck you want. Another thing about YouTube removing the video comments, I guess you mean the video responses. I think, well, nobody used video responses, and the people that did use video responses didn't use them correctly. But I think that's because YouTube never promoted that feature. They even hid the feature. Like, a new YouTuber that got on YouTube would not know how to make a video response. They'd have to look it up. Like, they hid the feature, they didn't promote it, they didn't, encourage people to use it. And I think that's the reason why nobody used it. So ultimately, I think YouTube, I think YouTube doesn't want video responses to be part of it anymore, and I think that's why they never promoted it, and that's why they're trying to make it seem like it's our fault that nobody used it, even though they're the ones that never promoted or encouraged it. But they don't want YouTube to be a social network, and that is sort of what that promotes. And a lot of people refer to YouTube as a social network because it really is. It's a network of people communicating. It's a different format than something like Facebook, where you have Facebook is sort of like a huge web, and you have like Tumblr, which is sort of like a huge web, but then you have certain people that stand out more, and then Twitter is sort of the same way. Then you have, but Twitter's a little bit more where there's all these people, but then you have sort of major people that spawn the web, and then YouTube is like that too, where you have a lot of people that spawn the web, but it's still a social network. But I don't think Google wants YouTube to be a social network. I think Google wants YouTube to be internet TV. They want it to be advertising friendly, and because social networks are not advertiser friendly, and I think that they want to remove that. They want to get rid of that image because they want advertisers to advertise on their website. That's why sites like Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr struggle so much to make money, because their formats are not suitable for advertising. But YouTube doesn't want that. So I think, and it's sort of a conspiracy theory, but I think that's why they removed video responses. As well as that's why they did a lot of the other shit that they did on YouTube, such as removing, custom YouTube pages, because that made it too MySpace-ish. It made it too, here's my profile, come check me out, leave a comment, subscribe. It's too social networky. So they came out with this one channel bullshit where everyone's channel looks exactly the same, because that's more appealing to advertisers. But yeah. Did I watch the boxing match last weekend? No, I didn't. I don't ever watch boxing because they don't show boxing on normal TV usually. You always have to pay for it, at least for the good matches. Has anyone ever been rude to me because I'm an atheist? Sure. On the internet it happens all the time. Most of my friends are also atheists, and the ones that aren't don't really give a shit. So, and those are the people that I hang out with. So not usually in person, but yeah, on the internet it happens like every day. Well, not every day, but anytime the subject's brought up, you can find people being rude. But it's whatever. People are rude all the time for many reasons. That's just part of living amongst humans, is dealing with rude people. But yeah, about I don't think I've ever watched a boxing match in full before. I like the idea of boxing. I think it's cool, but it's not. I feel like it's not the most entertaining sport to watch. In my humble opinion, I feel like I got a hair in my eye or something. I know you guys keep seeing me like twitch my eye, but there's like something in it or something. It's like fucking shit. So we got 17 people here, which is still, like under average. So I don't know if it's still like not a good time. Let's see if more people come. I don't know. Maybe people just aren't into the live streams. I don't know, man. How did you? I actually meant to ask this. The people that are here, how did you find out about the live stream? From Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, or some other way? Let me know that, if you could. How did you know that there was a live stream today, basically? Because I need to know where most of the people come from. Because I've noticed that I've mentioned this before, but I have similar amounts of followers on all my social media, but certain ones are much more engaged than others. Like I have a lot of Tumblr followers, but they're much less engaged than Facebook followers, for example. At least for me. Like I have almost twice as. I actually have more than twice the Tumblr followers that I have Facebook followers. But the Facebook followers are way more engaged. They comment more. They share stuff more. And they respond to things more. They respond to calls of action more. So, and I don't really know why that is, but I need to do more independent research to figure out how everything works. Check YouTube constantly. So it was on YouTube. See, I wonder. That's the thing that sort of is weird to me, because I have 35,000 YouTube subscribers, and I would think that YouTube would let them know that I have a live stream. I guess it doesn't. And a lot of YouTubers have been complaining that YouTube doesn't alert your subscribers when you make new videos, when you do stuff, and that's like a huge problem, especially for people who rely on this for money. That's a really bad problem, like super bad problem, because that means you get much less views. Like if half your subscribers don't see that you made something, you get much less views. When you get much less views, you get much less money. But this, for me, it's not even the money. It's just like I want people to see that I'm doing something, you know? Okay, so most of you came from YouTube, or at least so far, all of you say you came from YouTube. Well, that's good, because I was thinking that people weren't seeing it on YouTube. But I still feel like a lot of people aren't seeing it because, you know, when you have 35,000 subscribers, that should go out to 35,000 people, you know, and not 14. Who knows though? I don't know how this shit works. That's good that a lot of you came from YouTube though. That makes me feel better about how YouTube is working. It is interesting that nobody said from social media yet. Okay, there's one person from Tumblr. I'm probably gonna ask this every live stream just to do some research to understand, to help me figure out where to focus my efforts, you know. My keyboard is fucking filthy. I need to bring the hose to this shit. My left shift keys has been messing up lately. Anyway. I don't know how long I'm going to live stream today. Maybe another 30 minutes to an hour. I'm trying to shorten the live streams because I've been doing them like 2.5 hours long, and I feel like it's a bit long. But that could just be because in the past I've had more people and they're asking more questions, so I just spent more time talking. But, you know, it's fine. I appreciate everybody that's here. Not to say that I'm not grateful. I definitely appreciate it. And it's just, you know, it's fun for me, regardless of how many people are there. I just like to do it. I think it's fun. I'm gonna try, maybe I'll do, I don't know, man. And I think if people knew when I was live streaming, that might be better. But I haven't figured out, when's the best time to do it, so. What brand of computer do I own? I own Asus computer. And I have 2 Asus monitors because they make good monitors that are cheap. And I just got this computer because I've just found a really good deal on Newegg for a computer. So I should make the title something like "I'm live right now." Maybe. Because what happens is, okay, I guess I could do that. Well, what it does is does it show you guys that I scheduled it in advance? Like I scheduled it an hour in advance, and it should show up in your. I don't know if it shows up in your subscription though. Probably doesn't. It just shows up on your feed, I think. And it doesn't show into your subscription until I actually go live. I could be wrong about that. So that is probably a good idea. I didn't think about that. Huh. Yeah, I'll try that next time. The 50 random facts vid. Is that a thing? Is that like a thing going on YouTube? I haven't seen that, I don't think. Was I ever bullied? Not particularly. I feel like in general, I've always been relatively decent at not making people want to mess with me, or at least making people like me. I was never like popular or like super well liked or anything, but people generally just left me alone because I didn't say nothing. I mean, I've been picked on, obviously. People picked on me, but I've never been like excessively bullied to where I don't know. I don't really know what people are thinking of when they say the word bullied. Because I feel like for me, for kids of my age, it was never that bad. I mean, kids were assholes, but that was just a thing that you dealt with. Sometimes people fought you, sometimes people pushed you, sometimes people knocked your books out of your hands. That was just some shit that happened. That's just what you dealt with in middle school, and after a couple of years, it was over, and then you just went on through life. I don't know if people are talking about that or if they're talking about something more serious. So I don't know. Who's my favorite hero? My favorite hero definitely changes. Basically, changes on depending on the last thing that I saw or read or watched. Whoever was the coolest person in the last thing I watched. For the longest, since the Avengers came out, it's been Thor. Since Thor is a badass in the Thor movies and in the Avengers movie, and I'm super pumped for the new Thor movie. But before that, I've liked like Black Panther a lot because I was reading the Black Panther comic strip, and that's a super badass character. And then before that, I liked Daredevil a lot because I was reading the Daredevil series. And Daredevil's also a really super badass Marvel character. So it just sort of depends on what I'm currently into. Before that, I think it was Rogue who was my favorite, just because when I was growing up, Rogue was my favorite character on the cartoon, and I started reading X-Men comics, and Rogue was super cool, and she was southern, and she was hot. So it just depends. It's a tag where you give 50 facts about you. Interesting. That's a lot of facts. I don't know if I can think of 50 facts. I wonder if anybody tagged me. Someone did tag me in the YouTube survey, Narimon's YouTube survey. So I'm probably going to do that next. Might do it today. I emailed Hank Green, and he told me that I should make more videos. He said his exact words, what did he say? Make a whole fucking lot of videos, were his exact words. So I need to do that. I don't know if I can though. I had like the way my videos work is I have to think about them a lot, you know, because my videos are like usually really like thought out, and oftentimes I have to do research for my videos. So I don't do, unlike a lot of vloggers, I don't have to, like some vloggers, they just turn on the camera and start talking, but I feel like I can't do that because at least for most of the things that I talk about, I have to think about them for a minute just to make sure I don't sound like an idiot. But I'm going to try to make as many videos as possible because I need, like I told you guys, I'm building an empire here. I'm about to take over his website. I'm about to be the president and CEO of YouTube. Just saying. Do I watch Breaking Bad? No, I don't watch anything. I did actually finally start watching the last season of 30 Rock, which I have been meaning to do for a long time. But 30 Rock, for the past like 4 years, is the only show that I've watched routinely. I don't watch TV shows ever. I watch YouTube shows, and that's about it. I watch YouTube shows and football. That's like the only thing that I watch that even resembles television. Why are you a nobody? I'm a nobody? I am somebody. To quote Jesse Jackson, I am somebody. I am somebody. Kids are even bigger assholes nowadays. Interesting. Well, you know, it'll end. People don't stop being assholes, but people eventually it becomes socially unacceptable to be an asshole. Even though people are still going to be assholes, they won't be overtly assholish. People will stop, you know, bullying, things like that. It'll end. You just have to sort of tough it out, which is, you know, probably not the best advice to people who are being bullied, but that's what it is. You can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. We have all these discussions and all these news stories about bullying and cyberbullying, and bullying is such a huge problem. What do we do? You don't do nothing. It's kids are assholes, and they're always gonna be assholes until the end of kids. And all you have to do is get through it, and then after that you'll be fine. Especially if you've been bullied particularly harshly, you'll probably grow up and be, you know, extra strong person. Who's my favorite football team? I assume that since you spell favorite with the U that you're not American. I'm talking about American football. Not football. My favorite American football team was the Green Bay Packers, though. What type of YouTube shows? Lots of YouTube shows. And I just use the word shows loosely, as just to describe anything that comes on YouTube, basically. But I couldn't begin to name all the things I watch on YouTube, because I'm currently subscribed to over 700 channels on YouTube, and so whenever I go to my subscription page, I've always got tons of shit to choose from. I've talked about this before, but the channels that I always watch, you know, religiously to the point where I can't miss an episode, there's only like a few of those, and that includes Vlogbrothers and Swoozy and Naraman and Mike Falzone and Nate's Vlogs, and probably some others. I'm gonna look at my front page and see if there's any that I know. Hey, Wheezy Waiter and Hank Green are live right now, or they were at least an hour ago. Maybe that's why no one's watching my stream, cause they're live. What's that all about? But look, it says live now on there at the bottom. It should say. I don't know. Black Nerd Comedy is another channel that I watch all the time. Yeah, I don't see anything. And some of the channels that I subscribe to, they like upload like 18 videos a day, which can be sort of a problem sometimes. Like I'm subscribed to the Associated Press, and they release like 30 videos a day, and it can be sort of annoying for my sub box. Do I like cheese? Yeah, cheese is amazing. It's one of the best things. It's like one of the, like literally, if I made a list of the things, the foods that are the best, cheese would be like in the top 3, just in general. Thoughts on people who can't accept interracial relationships? Who can't accept them? I feel like that's clearly racist or, stupid. I feel like I shouldn't have to like provide a thought on that. That's like, I think that to most normal people that's pretty stupid, pretty bad. Obviously there's no rational reason to oppose interracial relationships. What you want to do for yourself is fine. If you have a preference, that's fine. But if you can't accept other people's, what they're doing in their life, particularly if it doesn't affect you, then I think that's clearly bad. This is my favorite topic to talk about on YouTube. Well, if you've seen my channel, you know I talk about a whole bunch of random shit. That's another thing that Hank Green told me, was he said that the way that I'm going about it is probably the most fulfilling, but it's also the hardest to, because it's also what Vlogbrothers did, where they just made videos about whatever they happened to be feeling at the time, instead of focusing on one thing. And channels that focus on one thing tend to do better quickly or quicker than channels that vary from subject to subject. But that's sort of just that's what if I had to pick one subject to talk about all the time, I would get tired of it really quickly. But I have channels, like I have a vocabulary channel, which is all about learning vocabulary, and it's not a vlog, but it's a focused channel, and I feel like it's a good idea, but we'll see how it works. Mike Falzone and Nate's vlog are so awesome. I agree. Mike Falzone makes me nervous because he makes almost the same type of videos as I do, except he does it way better and way more eloquently. But Mike Falzone is one of my heroes. And Nate's vlog is just hilarious. I'm like surprised that he's not bigger on YouTube, because he's super funny, and he's like consistently funny, and he's like always coming out with these new videos and new ideas and stuff, and they're always really funny. I don't know how he does it. He's just he's a comedian at heart. He's one of those people that's just naturally funny. Like, he can just talk about stuff and it'll be funny. I'd love to collaborate with him one day on something. I don't know what. Our video styles are a lot different, but I could do it. The recent winner of Miss America was of Indian descent, and people started to spew out racist remarks against her. What do you think about the situation? Racism is bad? Do you need me to say that? I feel like that's another thing. I think most normal people understand that racism is bad. Racism is bad. Uh, there's not much to say about it. Just don't do that. It's a mixture. The thing about the Miss America thing is it's a mixture of straight up racism, and then it's a mixture of ignorance, and it's a mixture of stupidity. Because a lot of people are saying stuff like Miss 7-Eleven and shit, that's just plain mean and racist. But then there's people saying like Miss America isn't even American, and that's both ignorant and stupid because A, she wasn't American, she wouldn't be in the Miss America pageant. So that's just really stupid. And then B, it's ignorant because even if you know that she is American, like if you're not a complete idiot and you know that she has to be American to participate in the fucking contest, then that means you have some sort of idea, you have some sort of image of in your head of what an American looks like, and that's stupid because if you've ever been to America before, you'll know that there are many different types of people here. Everywhere you go, many different types of looking people, and that's sort of what one of the biggest defining factors of this country is, how diverse it is. It's one of the things that sets America apart from other countries. It's so super diverse, like much more diverse than probably every other developed country, or every other country maybe, I don't know. So thinking that she doesn't look American, it's just stupid, really. It's not even like, it goes on, I think it goes beyond being just straight up racist. It's just like completely ignorant and idiotic. But yeah, racism is bad. Don't be racist. It's not, it's bad. I've had many conversations with people that don't approve of interracial marriage, I guess, but insist they aren't racist. Interracial relationships, but insist they aren't racist. I don't know. You don't have to be. Maybe I don't know. It depends on what the person, I guess. I don't suppose that it's like necessarily racist, but it's still stupid, and it's still intolerant. It's still bigoted. It's still bad. So even if it isn't racist, it's still nothing to be proud of. Being intolerant of other people's choices that don't affect you is being a bigot, regardless of what kind of bigot you are. It doesn't matter. I mean, I suppose I can imagine a person who doesn't necessarily think that black people are worse than white people, for example, but they still don't want black people to date white people just because they think it doesn't look right or it doesn't sit well with them. Maybe they don't necessarily have any they don't think that the black people are inferior or anything like that, but it's still intolerant, it's still bigoted, it's still stupid, it's still bad, it's still rude. You still shouldn't feel that way. You should change your opinion because it's a dumb opinion. Who is KEVBOT? I don't know who KEVBOT is. KEVBOT is me. What's the next game you're gonna play on your other channel? I don't know. I'm gonna finish Silent Hill, but I actually play Silent Hill on my Twitch stream, which you guys should subscribe to if you want to catch up with me playing that. I might play that tomorrow, play a little bit more. I've been playing Silent Hill, man. That game's scary as shit. It hurts my heart. But I don't know what other game I'm gonna play. Usually the full gameplay videos don't get that many views as much as like the short, just clip videos where I'm like just showing something really quickly or being funny or something. So for those videos, I can just play anything just for a few minutes and come up with something. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it will be because I don't really have access to that many games. And a lot of the games that I would play, I feel like nobody gives a shit about, you know, because I'm sort of behind on games. Like I just started playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, but I feel like nobody gives a shit about that game anymore. So it's like no reason to make a video about it. I don't think, at least. I could be wrong. So I don't know. Once I get my money up, I'll be able to play newer games. Like it would be perfect time to make a GTA 5 video right now, but I don't have the game. Nor do I have an Xbox or a PlayStation. But that's neither here nor there. I'll figure something out though. Exactly, the United States is the most diverse country in the world. I still can't believe people are bigoted and ignorant. I agree. I don't know why. I think it's a lot of it is because white people, particularly Europeans, have a history of conquering shit in the world, and in fact, America itself was built on taking shit from people. So from the very beginning, white people sort of assumed that the land was theirs because they took it from somebody. And, you know, everyone else who came here came to their land, you know. And, you know, black people, the only reason black people are even in America is because of slavery. And they brought black people here. So it's sort of like, we're just letting you live on our land so you can help us out. And same thing for any other immigrant, Asian people and Hispanic people that came up here. It's like, yeah, okay, you can immigrate here, but we're gonna put you to work. This is our land. And I just feel like that sort of generational superiority complex has just gone from generation to generation. And so white people just sort of still think that they own America, you know, or just, you know, some people. And, you know, it's like all these fucking immigrants come taking our jobs. It's like, fucking no. If they're citizens, then their jobs are your jobs. We're all here. You don't own the country, you know. But that's how it is. Welcome to America. It's not just America though. People in general are hateful of things that are different. People don't like change, and people don't like things they don't understand. People fear things they don't understand. People fear change. People just don't like things that are different than what they're used to. And a lot of time fear can leads to ignorance. Or what's the Yoda quote? Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. It's true. Yoda knew what the fuck he was talking about. Half or around half of marriages end in divorce. That's a huge number. What is everyone doing wrong? And when we choose to do so, our emotions compromise our decision-making skills. Well, I couldn't tell you what people are doing wrong. I think that in general, our culture puts a way too much emphasis on marriage and love and marriage, and we talk about love like it's this thing that never dies, or this like supernatural, you know, transcendent emotion that is above everything else and never dies and can't be killed, and worth all struggles to get it. And I think that's just completely absurd. And I think that's a lot of reason why people do drastic things like get married, because they think love conquers all. But I think it's I think it's stupid, to be honest, but that's just me though. But I think that has a lot to do with this. We overemphasize love in this culture way too much. And it's not our fault completely, our movies do the same thing, our books and our, everything else. I understand, like, I like a good love story too, but, I try to make rational choices in my life. And then marriage in general, if you ask most people in the West, almost everybody considers marriage like a thing that, like, it's part of what success is as a person. Like, almost everybody is like, okay, like, if you say, like, one day I'll get married, people don't even think twice about it. That's just normal. That's just what you do. If you say something like, one day I'll be a rocket scientist, people will, like, look at you like, really, that's what you want to do? That's interesting. That's pretty unique, because that's something you don't hear there. You say, one day I'll get married, nobody thinks twice about that. But I think that it's just as drastic a thing as becoming a rocket scientist. It's just sort of random that we put so much emphasis on it. And so a lot of people rush into it when they're not particularly ready. Like, marriage is a thing that it's a very, very large commitment, and it changes everything in your life, financially, socially. It just completely changes your life. And so people just, like, sort of rush into it, I think, sometimes. And then a lot of time, and then people in general don't know how to. I feel like people are really bad at maintaining relationships in general, much less marriages. And people are really good at running away when things go wrong. Like, people don't understand that all relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, girlfriend, boyfriend, marriages, all relationships require work and effort. And people sort of expect relationships to be just peachy and require no effort, and you just sort of live every day and everything's okay. But that's not how it works. At least from what I understand, that's not how it works. So a lot of times when things do go wrong, people are like, oh shit, well, this is a complete failure. It's time to abort. But no, things go wrong sometimes, and you have to work, and you have to fix it. And I think a lot of times with marriages, people don't put the effort into fixing it, or putting the effort in to make it good in the first place. But a lot of that is speculation, because I've never been married. I know a lot of people who are married, and I know several people who have been married and are no longer married. So that's just what I think. I'm sure my views on that will evolve as I grow older and get involved in relationships and things like that. What languages do I speak? Just English. I am slightly above average at Spanish, but not enough to really maintain a conversation. So I just speak English. Do I have any hilarious stories or pranks I've pulled to tell about? Not really. Can't really recall any particular stories. Most of the things that are funny from my past are like inside jokes, so you would think they're that funny. Pranks, I definitely, because I don't like pranks. I don't think pranks are cool, so I don't pull pranks on people. Pretty much ever. I mean, unless it's just like a really quick troll that I immediately, reveal. But I think pranks are terrible. I don't like them. And I don't even like, some of the most successful YouTube videos are like prank videos, prank compilations. One of the most subscribed channels is Prank vs. Prank. You probably heard of them. This couple that pranks each other. I don't think pranks are cool. It's like, either you cause someone pain or humiliation for the amusement of yourself and others. That's not cool at all. Not into it. If I think of a funny story though in the next few minutes, and I'll tell you, but I can't recall something off the top of my head. What do I do to stay in shape? Well, I'm not really in shape, but I have been working out a lot lately, in an attempt to get into shape. And I've lost a little bit of weight, and I feel like I've gotten a little bit stronger. Muscles getting a little bit bigger. But basically, I eat less than before, and I just work out. Right now, I do a lot of in-home workouts because I can't really make it out to the gym or anything. But I have some dumbbells, and I have like dumbbells like that. This one's just 15 pounds, but I'm weak, so that works for me. But you can just do a little quick stuff, do some curls, do a lot of push-ups and shit. I should probably do more sit-ups and stuff. I don't work my abs that much because I'm trying to lose weight because I've done a lot of research about fitness and stuff over the years, and there's sort of this myth that like doing a bunch of sit-ups and crunches will get rid of your belly fat, but that's not how it works. You have to. The only way you'll lose fat is by losing weight. The only way you'll lose weight is to consume less calories than you burn. So I'm focused on trying to lose weight first while toning, and then after that I'll try to get ripped a little bit. But that's what I've been doing lately. Hopefully it pays off. You're the guy that drew that ink picture of me. That's cool. I want more people to send me pictures. I need to get a P.O. box. I'll do that soon. But yeah, that was really cool. I made a photo album on Facebook of all the pictures of me that people have sent, or just pictures in general that are related to my YouTube channel or to me that viewers have sent. So you can go to the Facebook page if you want to see that. There's only a few of them, but it's cool. What do I think of the concept of Zen? Well, I don't know exactly what that is. Isn't that just like a really general term? Like something to do with Buddhism, but it's just like enlightenment, that kind of thing. If it's that sort of thing, like the Buddhist concept of nirvana and enlightenment, I think that's all pretty ridiculous. But the idea of clearing your mind and things like that, I guess, has some benefit. But the idea of just like reaching this point of Zen, where nothing matters to you anymore, or you have no connection to the outside world, is all very hokey to me and probably not desirable for me, even if it were a thing. So I don't know. But you might be talking about something else. I probably gonna go for 30 more minutes, and then we'll shut it down. Shut it down. I think I'll live stream again Sunday evening, maybe around the same time, 6 or 7 p.m. my time. It's currently 7:30 here, just to give you an idea what time that is where you live. I don't like the mean pranks, just the weird ones. Like last week, I decorated my dorm hallway with my drawing and rearranged trash people left out and labeled it obstacle course. Yeah, I guess stuff like that is fine. As long as you're not specifically embarrassing anybody or fucking with people. But I still don't really do anything like that. I'm a very low-key person. I don't do very grandiose things like that, I don't think. At least not in person. Can I do more top 10s? Maybe. I just need to find something to do a top 10 for that hasn't been done a billion times already. I'd love to do more top 10s. It's hard to find things that hasn't been done already. And even the Disney villain thing I did top 10 for, it had been done already before me, but I just felt like nobody did it that well, so I wanted to do it myself. What do I think of the fake gamer girl thing? There's no such thing as a fake gamer. I think elitism in general is obnoxious. It's like one of the most obnoxious things. Where you call people like fake fan or fake person, whatever. It's like the most obnoxious thing possible. Or if you question someone's knowledge or you question someone's opinion just because they not as knowledgeable or haven't done something as long. It's like, I don't know, it's one of the most frustrating things to me. But there's no such thing as a fake gamer. If you play a video game and you like it, then you're a gamer. Or if you don't want to call yourself a gamer, then you don't have to call yourself a gamer. But if you call yourself a gamer, then you're a gamer. You can even if you only play one game, if you call yourself a gamer, you're a gamer. When I used to play Smash Brothers competitively. I haven't played in a long time, but I wouldn't say I'm like completely retired from that. But there were people who played Smash Brothers, and that was the only game they played. Pretty much, literally the only game. And these were like hardcore competitive smashers, so I don't think anyone could say that they weren't gamers, but that's the only game they play. But if you play a game and you like it, then you're a gamer. What are the most important lessons I've learned in life? The main lesson, probably the most important lesson for me personally. Well, there's the two biggest lessons, and they're sort of very general, but they were major epiphanies for me. One is don't be an asshole to people. Like, just don't do it ever. Don't ever be an asshole to somebody. I don't give a shit if your pride is on the line. I don't give a shit if it's inconvenient to you to not be an asshole. Just don't do it. It's way better. It's almost always the better alternative to not be an asshole. It's not cool. Nobody thinks it's that cool. It's not sexy. It's almost never a good idea to be an asshole to somebody. So that was one thing. Second thing that was really big for me was don't take the people that you like and the people that you love for granted. Don't assume that the people that you like are always going to be there, because they very well may not be. So always show love and respect to everyone that you love and respect every day. I don't like to say treat it like it's the last day you'll see them, but just don't take for granted that they'll always be there. And I'm not even talking about things like death or things like that. I'm just talking about they may feel like you don't appreciate them, so they'll stop hanging out with you. If you don't want that to happen, then show them that you appreciate them constantly, consistently, all the time. So those were probably the two biggest lessons that I've learned for me personally in my life. Top 10 people with dreads. I could do that. It's interesting. I'd have to think about that one though. You seem tired as shit. I'm not really tired. I'm a little bit, I'm not tired. I'm just sort of relaxing, I guess. I'm in a very mellow mood right now. And my eye is bothering me. My nose is itching, which is why you keep seeing me do this to my face. But I think that's sort of like a nervous twitch for me or something. Not a nervous twitch, but it happens a lot when I'm on camera. I guess I become very conscious of my face when I'm on camera, so I just start feeling it more and it starts itching. Like if you could see the outtakes of my videos, I like scratch my nose after almost every take. It's just weird. I really don't know why that is. I wonder why that would be. Cause I'm not nervous, so it's not that. Probably just like I was saying, like I just get really conscious of the fact that I'm on the camera. So my face, I just start feeling my face. Maybe I just need to wash my nose or something. Who knows? Need to scrub it a little harder next time. Yeah, so we got 20 minutes, about 20 minutes. I'm thinking Sunday at 7 for the next live stream. Not sure. Not completely sure. But I think I'll try that. Sunday at 7. Sunday at 7, unless, it depends. Because last week, I was playing the live stream on Sunday, and I like went out drinking Saturday night and just got a little carried away. So I was like really feeling bad for like the next day. So I didn't do it. But I don't think I'll do that again because I've actually sort of decided to drink less in general. But I might still hang out Saturday, but I probably won't get so destroyed that I won't be able to live stream. But that's why you don't drink. That's a video that I actually want to make. I want to collab with someone. I might hit up Malia and she wants to see if she wants to collab on it. I want to make a video about drinking because I feel like there's not that many honest videos about drinking. Like there's videos that are like, yeah, don't drink, it's super bad for you, and then there's videos like, fucking party, let's go. But there's nothing that gives you the honest truth about both sides, and I kind of want to make that. But I feel like I should get like a second opinion or get someone to help me make the video. I might get one of my friends to make the video, or I was thinking about Malia because I know she likes to drink, and I know she's a responsible person. But she just recently moved to San Francisco, which is awesome. So she might be in the process of getting all that together. She might not be ready to collab with someone. Smash Bros. Smash Bros is the shit. I can't wait till the next one comes out. I'm really good at that game, by the way. As you might imagine, because I played it competitively, like in tournaments. And we like unpacked that game way more than they intended it to be unpacked. We figured out every goddamn thing that was in that game. Every goddamn thing. Somebody asked about the gaming channel earlier. Does anybody have any suggestions for a game that I should play on the gaming channel? Primarily PC games or games that I can emulate. So games that I can emulate are basically anything on PlayStation and before. Probably not PlayStation 2. I don't think my computer can handle that. Maybe it could. It might could actually handle it, but PlayStation and before, just to be safe. And I'll stream them too. I play, especially if they're old school games. I want to stream a lot of old school games. What's my alcohol of choice? I just drink beer. I drink cheap beer. That's just it goes down quick. I like how it tastes. You know, I like Yingling and Bud Light and fucking Coors Original. You know, like the cheap beer, but not the super shitty cheap beer. You know, I drink whenever I do the pregame live streams, which I haven't done in a while, just because we haven't been hanging out a lot. But we always drink High Life, but that's just because it's really cheap at the gas station. So if you want to like get drunk really quick for cheap, you get High Life. But I prefer Yingling. I like Yingling a whole lot, and I really like Coors Original. Coors Original tastes like ice cream. It doesn't really, but it kind of does. It's very creamy. I don't know. I like it. Pokemon, that's something I was thinking about too, because I've actually never played any Pokemon games. I don't know if I would like them though, because they don't seem very fun. It just seems like you just go around collecting Pokemon. But I might try that, because I guess if there's so many people like them, there's got to be something about them. So I might play Pokemon, or at least at the very least I might stream it. Have I ever watched Epic Rap Battles of History? Yeah. I feel like if you're a person who has used YouTube and you haven't seen Epic Rap Battles of History, you just, like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing YouTube way wrong. But yeah, Epic Rap Battles of History is one of the greatest things that come out of YouTube. It's like one of the best examples of how YouTube is, you know, is just awesome. You know, as compared to other forms of entertainment. That couldn't have came on anything else. Like, it couldn't have been on TV. And it, you know, definitely it had to be on the internet, and particularly YouTube, I think. Mortal Kombat, I love Mortal Kombat, but fighting games are really hard to make interesting videos for, especially when you're playing by yourself. So that'd be hard to make a video, because I wanted to make a Street Fighter video, but you know, playing against a computer in a fighting game is not that interesting to watch, I don't think. But if I come up with something. But yeah, I mean, there's about 15 minutes left, but I'm thinking I might go ahead and close it down, just because I'm kind of hungry. I have to use the bathroom.